Hundreds of thousands of Montana ballots are already back in the hands of county election offices. What it means for candidates' final sprint to Election Day. Plus, economic development in 6 central Montana counties gets a financial boost from the federal government.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Jessica Nelson. Thank you for joining us. We're heading right over to Curtis this evening because you have, well, lots going on.
Well, you can see that you can't see in East Glacier. We've got some heavy snow coming down and good parts of Montana looking at some snow. Helena, the snow about ready to come down. Great Falls, we've got snow, at least on the south end of town. Had some good snow showers and snow squalls, intense snow bursts coming through parts of the state. And it's snowing to beat the band out the High Line through parts of Valley, Hill, and Blaine counties here. We're under a winter storm warning for off the Rocky Mountain front, out there through the Shelby area, down Interstate 15. Also, northeast Montana, looking at a winter storm warning. A little heavier snow will fall. Winter storm warning down in the southern part of the state, and look at that, everywhere else with the exception of Beaverhead County is under a winter weather advisory for snow tonight into tomorrow. Then we've got a winter storm watch that will go into effect for Friday into Saturday. This storm even stronger and will likely dump even more snow. So the event that we're seeing right now is just the appetizer. It's just the warm-up, so to speak, here, because the next system will be stronger, dump more snow, and record cold coming in. So at times this weekend you might be saying, shiver me timbers. And if you're thinking winter is here for good, well, not so much. The last week of October will actually look and feel more like the last week of October should. I'll have more on the full forecast coming up.
Montana saw another jump in COVID-19 cases today. The state reported 624 new cases, bringing the total to over 25,000. Of those 25,000 that have been reported, there are just over 8,700 active cases right now in Montana. Currently, there are 360 active hospitalizations due to the virus. And overnight, there were 17 COVID-19 related deaths in the state, bringing the total to 290. Now, MTN numbers do vary from those reported by state officials because we track data from the state and local health departments to give you the most up-to-date information available. More than 240,000 Montanans have already made their choices in the upcoming general election. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian looks at the votes that have come in so far and what that will mean for the last days of campaigning in the state.
With just under 2 weeks until Election Day, a large portion of Montana's votes are already accounted for, and that changes how campaigns will spend their final days. As of Tuesday evening, the Secretary of State's office reported nearly 638,000 ballots had been sent out to Montana voters. More than 243,000 have already been returned. That number jumped by 35,000 compared with the day before. About 2/3 of the submitted ballots have come from Montana's 7 largest counties: Yellowstone, Missoula, Gallatin, Flathead, Cascade, Lewis and Clark, and Ravalli. They sent out a total of nearly 427,000 ballots and have accepted almost 162,000. Lewis and Clark County has the highest turnout so far among large counties, with almost 49% of its mail ballots already returned. 4 others have gotten more than 40% of ballots back. Gallatin has processed about 29%, and Flathead has processed about 22%. The number of Montanans who voted absentee had been rising for years, even before Governor Steve Bullock allowed counties to switch to all-mail ballots during the pandemic.
What happens is, instead of having one election day, we have multiple election days.
David Parker, the chair of Montana State University's Political Science Department, says with so many votes in, campaigns get diminishing returns from traditional ads, so they'll likely refocus to try to motivate those who still haven't turned their ballots in.
Now campaigns have to shift their resources in ways that are less blunt, in ways that are more targeted, specifically to those voters that they know have not returned their ballots yet.
Parker says it's possible about half of the total vote in this election could be in by the end of Wednesday. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
In the June primary, which was conducted entirely by mail, Montana voters returned more than 60% of the ballots that were sent out. Total voter turnout was the highest for a primary in decades. All but 11 counties are holding mail elections this time. KTVH and MTN have partnered with ProPublica's Election Land. The Election Land Initiative is a coalition of newsrooms around the U.S. investigating issues related to voting. You can help us by telling us if you experienced or witnessed any problems when casting your ballot. Text the word VOTE to 81380 to sign up, or you can visit our website for more information. You can also submit tips through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and Twitter. We continue our Campaign 2020 coverage on Montana House of Representatives in the Great Falls area. Tonight, we look at the contest for HD 21 between incumbent Ed Buttery, a Republican, and Democrat Jamie Horn. House District 21 covers parts of Black Eagle to neighborhoods near Gibson Park, as well as residences north of Smelter Avenue. Around 9,800 residents live in that district. That's according to Ballotpedia. Buttery is running for re-election after winning the seat in 2018. He's a businessman in Great Falls and a former state senator. Now, MTN News asked each candidate what their stances were on issues ranging from coronavirus response to ballot initiatives. Buttery said as a businessman and father of 3 girls, there was no way he could support recreational marijuana legalization. He told MTN News while it's tempting to look at the revenue potential, the intangible costs and negative effects are concerning and already showing up in the other states that have legalized the substance.
Drug use leads to child abuse, to crime increases, to more addiction, to reduced business efficiencies, less reliable employees, families destroyed, suicide rate increases. These are things that come along with drug use. And the list just goes on and on and on. And I think when we look at, you can look at one side, which is the revenue, but you always have to look at both sides of the equation. The other side is cost. And the cost to Montana families and businesses and our people is just too high. So no, I can't support it.
Challenger Democrat Jamie Horn is a small business owner and resides in the Great Falls Black Eagle area. This is his first official run for office. The Democrat graduated from Great Falls Central Catholic in 2017 and has been involved in politics throughout his life. MTN News asked Horn's position on legalizing recreational marijuana and the tax revenue that is proposed to generate. Now, Horn said he believes it's important for residents to have access to marijuana, whether it be for medical or recreational purposes. He told MTN News pharmaceutical companies are responsible for much of the opposition to the 2 initiatives currently before voters.
If we're going to allow alcohol, people say, well, somebody could smoke weed and then go get in a car accident. Well, the same thing applies to alcohol. So I do support legalizing marijuana, and I do believe there is a great amount of potential for procuring a great deal of state revenue, considering, look at the other states, such as my home state of Washington, which again, I grew up in Great Falls. I'm originally from Washington, Colorado. These states that have legalized marijuana are doing incredibly well in regards to their economic situation.
We have Horn and Buttery's full responses to a number of questions on our website. All right, when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenance will dive into a full forecast with more on snow and very, very cold temperatures headed our way. And coming up later, how the pandemic has changed the day-to-day lives of delivery drivers. That full story after the break.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenance.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Some snow accumulating out there right now. This is my snowfall forecast going all the way to Saturday afternoon and evening. Now, Helena, not so much tonight into tomorrow. Great Falls, not that much, but a lot of the accumulation that you see here in Havre and Glasgow will fall tonight into tomorrow, with not as much coming through Friday and Saturday. My point showing both of these storms and the combined snowfall total is a lot of Montana will be looking very different here in just a couple of days. Wow. Really heavy snow coming down in Monarch right now. How about off the Rocky Mountain front? Pendroy looking at some slick conditions. McDonald Pass around the Helena area. We've had some sun out there earlier today, and I think we need to bump up the iris just a little bit here in Lewistown, but the clouds are certainly dark. We've had some fog around here as well. This is Geyser looking at the high woods, which are obscured by some clouds and some fog. 27 in Great Falls. Feels more like 15 when you factor in the wind. And in Helena, the snow in the South Hills here. Temperatures were up almost near 50 again today. Now we're down to 36 and some snow is flying throughout a lot of the area. Temperatures, most locations were above freezing today, but colder air dropping down below the freezing point will make for slippery conditions on the roads tonight and tomorrow. Winter storm warning north of Glasgow along the Canadian border, just east of Havre, including Chinook and Harlem. Off of the Rocky Mountain front, Interstate 15, southern Montana here under that winter storm warning. Still looking at a total of about 2 to 6 inches out in the plains, 1 to 3 in the valleys, and as much as 10 inches in the snow. That's just tonight into tomorrow morning. You can see the activity on the radar here. Great Falls have got some snow right through town, south of town, Interstate 15 through Wolf Creek Canyon. Oh, it is snowy off the Rocky Mountain front around Augusta. There's the snow coming into Helena. Some very heavy snow, though, right up around the Wolf Creek area. And here's some of that snow while we're under a winter storm warning from Opheim, just north of Malta, out through Fort Belknap, and again, Hayes under that winter storm warning as well. Record snow, not just in Montana, through the Dakotas into parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. Snow tonight, pretty heavy up here along the Canadian border and the High Line, and then areas of snow, Lewistown, Great Falls through Helena. Slippery conditions tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, the conditions will improve as we go through the day. Still a few snow showers into the afternoon, but it will become partly cloudy by the afternoon. Quiet for Thursday night, very cold. Some locations will get down below about 10 degrees here on Friday night, so into the single digits. Maybe a little sun early on Friday, but look what's moving in. The next system, it's got more moisture, it's stronger, it will dump even more snow than the one that's going through tonight. But again, out there, Canadian border, the High Line, Havre out through Glasgow, maybe as much as 6-7 inches of snow. 1 to 2 around Lewistown, 1, 2, 3 inches around Great Falls, maybe an inch or two around Helena. That's just tonight into tomorrow morning before this next round of snow comes through. Friday afternoon, Friday evening, all the way into Saturday morning. Snowy day here on Saturday with that snow moving out finally by Saturday night. And we'll likely have Arctic air and record cold for highs Saturday, lows Saturday night, highs on Sunday, and maybe lows on Sunday night as well. There will be a bit of a warm-up coming, though, towards the middle of next week. Tonight, look at these numbers, single digits and teens. So that snow is going to stick on the roads here throughout the entirety of the state. Look at Showdown down to 0. Helena, we're going to have some snow around town here over the next few hours. A couple inches through the overnight into tomorrow morning. And for tomorrow, clouds to start, some areas of light snow, but the clouds will break up by the afternoon. Some snow around Glasgow through the morning hours. Lewistown, some snow through the morning hours, and maybe a couple of snow showers lingering into the morning around Helena. Here's the 7-day forecast. So snow tonight into tomorrow morning again, up to a couple inches, maybe 3 inches in the valley, a little more in the hills around town. But Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday, that's when a more significant accumulation, maybe upwards of 10 inches, will fall in the Helena Valley. Cold this weekend and slowly warming up next week. I think inversions will keep the valley locations a little colder. And for Great Falls, careful, tricky travel out there tonight, Friday night and Saturday. Very snowy, below 0 Saturday night. And then a Chinook wind will blow by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Mail carriers and delivery truck drivers are stretched thin right now, and the COVID-19 pandemic has really changed their jobs. Here is why.
Nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds. While it isn't the official Postal Service motto, it's something mailwoman Amy Becerra has kept to for the past
25 years this month.
And now we can add COVID to that list of things that postal workers press through. Amy is one of almost 500,000 mail carriers for the USPS, And for the last 8 of those 25 years, she's had the same route just north of Denver.
My max is usually 6 years, and then I'm like, it's time to move on and learn a different area, and which is really hard because you do get close to your customers.
But because of COVID, the part of her job she loves the most?
My customers, being outside, being able to involve yourself with other people, giving customer service to a wide variety of people.
Has now changed.
I don't see near as many people. Your customers, if they do come out, which is not, it's very rare anymore.
And people are ordering things now more than ever.
A lot of people are not going out to stores purchasing. They're staying home doing it on the computer, which gives us more parcels, which is awesome.
It's deemed an essential public service, critical to the nation's infrastructure and critical to so many lives.
We deliver life-saving meds to people.
And also provides a service that many wouldn't think.
You get to know the people, the kids, the pets, who should be around, in the neighborhood, who shouldn't, and people's schedules.
So a few years ago, when one of her customers didn't pick up his mail for a few days, she knew something was wrong. She called for help.
He had just been real sick and completely dehydrated, but every time he'd get up, he'd pass out.
The ER doctor said he wouldn't have made it 24 hours.
I have 5 more years, and I have really bonded with these people out here that I've pretty much promised them, unless the post office takes it away from me, I'm here for 5 more years with them.
So neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night, nor COVID will stop Amy from delivering to her customers. I'm Lindsay Boach.
Up next, a Montana Economic Development Corporation is getting a big boost.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back with us. An Economic Development Corporation is getting a big boost thanks to a new designation from the federal government. MTN's Coulter Anstad explains what makes the designation unique and how much it could help people right here in central Montana.
With as many people as could fit in Snowy Mountain Development Corporation's conference room Wednesday morning, and with a few people there virtually, the corporation celebrated being the first economic development corporation in the country to be designated as an Envision Center by the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Department.
The designation will help Snowy Mountain Development Corporation by bringing us resources, helping us access federal and state partners and additional resources, so that we can accomplish the goals of our communities.
The corporation acts as an economic development department for 6 counties in central Montana. Executive Director Kathy Bailey says the new resources and partners are very important because the area is so rural.
Without having Snowy Mountain Development Corporation working on community and economic development, we would not be able to access these federal resources or state resources. Our businesses would be not able to grow and expand.
HUD's Regional Administrator Evelyn Lim says Snowy Mountain was a perfect candidate for the designation.
They have great partnerships, great programs. They're really helping the community, and it's aligned with our Envision Center goals. We're really just trying to leverage what they're already doing to help the community.
A big gesture for a small community, likely to pay off in a big way. In Lewistown, Coulter Anstad, MTN News.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
When we welcome our West Coast viewers, teachers, unsung heroes of this pandemic, tonight a closer look at their emotional burden and what the future looks like for many. Also, online fraud soaring during this time. Some of the top scams victimizing vulnerable Americans when we see you back here tonight.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
The first crew to launch to the International Space Station during the pandemic comes home today. NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy and 2 Russian cosmonauts went to the International Space Station on April 9th. That was just weeks after the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. While in space, the team circled the Earth more than 3,000 times and traveled 83 million miles. All right, welcome home. That's all for us this evening. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for joining us.